We'll be having a timeless discussion later. I think I must have taken part in probably 50 of these discussions in my career. Should, in this country, drugs be either decriminalised or legalised? What do we do? And obviously this is off the back of this tragedy with 2 people dying after taking just a couple of tablets at a pop festival, which was then cancelled, and another person extremely ill may die. Are we looking at a kind of a parallel with what it was like in America in the 20s? Prohibition. When alcohol was a criminal offence to serve or to drink alcohol. And you had all the gang warfare, you had all the criminal activity. It was finally decriminalised and everything calmed down. It's not perfect. People still die of alcohol poisonings. People still behave badly when they're drunk. But it's better than it was. What do you think? Do you think that we would live in a safer, more society if drugs were decriminalised?
Yes, and it's failing now, the current war on drugs, when thousands of people die every year. We've seen what's happened at Portsmouth. Much better to regulate it and see it as a health and safety issue. I'm not advocating people taking drugs. People take them anyway. But if you regulated it, you would cut out the criminals who are suppliers. You would guarantee the standard. So if it's a bit of poisonous, as it has been, particularly toxic, there's something wrong with this batch, that shouldn't happen. And you would also tax it. Because your system isn't working now.
What do you think? I mean, it's difficult for governments, though, isn't it? Because to say actually it's OK to take drugs.
Even cannabis, I'd be reluctant to legalise because it causes huge issues with mental health, and there's no doubt there's overwhelming evidence it can cause a lot of problems for young men and women. I've admitted it, true, but we wouldn't legalise alcohol now if it was brought around again, nor would we legalise smoking. And I just don't think we should legalise another form of poison which can send us.
Do you think that we would live in a better, more ordered society if alcohol was criminalised, either in terms of serving it or imbibing it? Because I don't. I think we'd go back to America of the 20s.
We would go back to America.
Or cigarettes.
Well, then surely the drugs parallel stands.
Yeah, because people commit terrible crimes to get drugs, to steal drugs, because when they're on drugs. And I just think it's too easy to say having a joint is harmless. It's not necessarily, actually. It can lead to real long-term health problems.
But that's not the alternative.
And I don't think the state should start providing drugs.
But if it was decriminalised, those 2 kids who are now dead,
maybe alive.
They'd be alive. They would have had a little trip on ecstasy. That's all they wanted. They wanted to take some ecstasy and have a little trip and then come back down again. They're dead.
But not many children die in that. I mean, remember Leah Betts back in the 1990s? There aren't many like that.
No, but of course now far more people die from alcohol and tobacco than die from drugs. And yet drugs are treated as if... you can't go anywhere near them legally.
The trouble is, it's treated as a moral issue.
Yeah.
And I think we've moved on from that. This is the 21st century. I don't think it's a moral issue. I think it's a health... I agree with you. It's a health and safety issue and a social issue in terms of criminal behaviour.
There'll be no political will, I tell you, for a change. Absolutely. The Liberal Democrats will talk about it. Good luck. They did well at the last election, didn't they, talking about legalising drugs.
Yeah, you get a few Tories as well as Labour, but of course you get the old shout, you're soft on drugs. And some of our politicians then become a bit jellyish on that.
They're not going to touch it. No, I agree. We're going to be stuck with this forever.